225 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque from a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with 2 electric motors.
This is the same engine for all of the new Camrys.
Yes, but you do get more horsepower if you get the all-wheel drive version, only a total of 232 horsepower, but this one is the front-wheel drive version.
And the all-wheel drive version is just electric motor at the back.
So we haven't actually driven that one, so we're only going to talk about this front-wheel drive model. That launch was with full traction off, so I did not get tire squeal. But when I turned the wheel and did a little bit of a launch before, I did get a little bit of tire. Especially combined with this eCVT, because CVTs usually just scream at the top of their lungs.
Especially Toyota ones.
And yeah, Toyota motors, they do have like a harshness to them, and this one does not. That is the biggest thing that has surprised me about this car so far.
Soundproofing to this should be a quieter model than the previous ones. And then different from the previous ones, we got different headlights and different taillights and a different grille and bumpers.
It's technically all new, but there are some shared panels which we believe to be the doors.
Yeah, because the body line looks pretty much exactly the same as last gen. Do you like the front end of this more than the last gen? And this is the XSE, so we have a color matched grille. I made sure we got the two-tone with the red interior because I feel like that's the coolest spec.
Well, let's take a look at the exterior on tsp.truecar.com of the old one and compare it to this lovely new one, because if you are shopping for one of these,
hit up tsp.truecar.com and see which one is the best for you. Are you gonna go two-tone? Are you gonna go white, silver, red, blue? We got a bunch of cool colors and a bunch of trims.
On the road, because every other Camry has been, and obviously the main competitor to this is the Accord, and we will at some later date probably do a comparison between these two because they're so similar now. I mean, they always have been, but the improvements to this one in terms of like the quietness of this is massive. But let's talk about that exterior again.
Do you like these headlights more than the last headlights, and do you like that they are pretty much just like the Prius headlights?
Yeah, the
crown
hammerhead, the Prius face, as I like to call it. I do like them. I don't know if I like it more than the previous gen, but it doesn't look bad at all. It's like this kind of aggressive-ish looking thing.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. There's a NASCAR updated version of it, which looks pretty cool too.
Looks so fast, man.
And then I like the color matched grille on this.
Yeah.
And since this is XSE, it's got like the it's like diagonals, but the XLE will be just lines, and then if you get an SE, then it's black instead.
So the L's to me are luxury, and then the S's to me are sporty.
And then this also has like the canards or whatever. They got the little things that come up around.
Yeah, but they don't like stick out like dive planes.
No, not dive planes. It's like little things. It's like a weird little thing. I forget what they said in the paper.
Anyways, it does look good. Rear end also looks really good. On this one, we do have one muffler with dual tailpipes on it.
But
so let's take a
because it's like you see silver instead of black through one side.
Hey man, whatever.
Okay,
it is what it is, but the rear end does look pretty good as well.
They took last gen Honda Accord taillights. They're like, Honda Accord changed the taillights. We can use lobster claws finally.
Hey, but here's one in front of us. Like that's pretty good looking taillights.
But that comes off very Honda.
Yeah.
And then this one has a blacked out Camry thing in the middle, where some of the other ones will have more color matched. This is like color matched bumpers.
Oh, and then these wheels. Okay, so these wheels that we're driving on in this trim are very nice. Like they're kind of a machined face. They're a bigger wheel. I think they do look really good.
Yeah, they look nice. But what would be the Continental recommended tire for a new Toyota Camry?
Well, if you got a different trim of this, the Continental Pro Contact TX is the OE tire.
Yes, and it definitely looks nicer on a not black wheel.
But I don't think you can get that design in not black.
Yeah, I just don't like black wheels.
I know, but it's still like an aggressive-ish looking design. Like I do like alloy wheels.
But they made those alloys look as hubcap as possible.
Yeah, they did.
As much sidewall as they could possibly fit.
They're forcing you up.
Two-tone with either white or silver, and then a red interior like we have is textbook Camry.
To me, two-tone Camrys are a little extra. It's just probably, but they don't want to talk about the existence of that vehicle yet. I did ask. But the two-toneness, I could do without.
Nah, my neighbor's got a white one, two-tone. I'm like, yeah.
So enough of the looks. Let's talk about this engine a little bit more. I find it so smooth. Like for a hybrid, I don't notice any transitions between anything happening. It just feels like it's all one piece together. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, there is no tack in the gauge cluster though. Only power, eco, and charge.
Yeah, but the actual power delivery is really, really good. It's not like crazy amount, and don't expect to be launching this thing or anything like that, but when you are just driving around and you just floor it, like you get the correct amount of power. On the SE and on the XSE, you get the Sport Tune suspension, which we have, and I'm surprised at how like not crashy it is when you're going over bigger bumps and stuff. It is noticeably a little bit stiffer than I would expect from a Camry, which you wouldn't get on the LE or the XLE. The steering feel of it is like it's off center, it's very dead, and then all of a sudden it's just, you get a lot of over boosting, and I'm not used to that, so I don't particularly like that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting moved a lot left and right.
We'll probably enjoy the lightness of it. I'm not a Camry driver though.
Yeah, so they're,
if you wear people's feet, you got some problems. So even though we do have this eCVT, we do also to me are just downshift paddles, because if I floor it right now and upshift, whatever, they're there for appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can use it for like slowing down.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of hitting the brakes.
Yeah, that's why they're just downshift paddles. With they could have just given me one paddle, to be honest.
Set.
But there are none on this one, at least.
Car. It's under dad fast for speed.
Yeah, that'll be the TRD. That'll be dad fast.
Okay, looking at this interior, love the red. This leather or whatever it is, and like
I think it's soft tex.
What's it called? Perforations?
Yes.
All of this stuff looks awesome. Like
it looks fast.
And it doesn't look like a bad leather. It doesn't feel like it just feels nice. And then the seats are all red, the backs of the seats are red. If you're sitting in the back seat, it looks cool from everywhere.
That's right. And then sitting up front, these seats are very, very comfortable, like no issues. Toyota has made it a point to make these seats even more comfortable, and they did do that, at least in terms of optics, was that I was very cocooned in the passenger side because they had this big swooping panel. This one still has a bit of a swoop, but it's less swoopy, and I don't feel like I'm fully cocooned in here.
Yeah, one of the things with the seats though is there's no up-down lumbar, just forward-back. I feel like that'd be nice to have.
It would be.
5'8", I fit great.
I do at 6'1.5". However, I still think I have more room in the new Accord.
Do you like this big panoramic moonroof kind of thing?
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I don't know if the last one had. I don't think it did, but
I don't think it was. No, it wasn't as big.
Either way, this is a very nice feature.
Yeah.
And then, okay, the thing I want to talk about the most, that I'm the most jazzed about.
Go for it.
Okay, Apple CarPlay, right?
Yes.
Wired works. Has wireless if you want.
Yeah.
Left didn't exist, so you couldn't go back to your menu stuff. You'd have to swipe, click the Toyota button in CarPlay. Now if you click these arrows, it moves over and it shows it.
Boom, problem solved.
Problem solved.
Possibly the greatest infotainment on the market now.
If you have a Toyota or Lexus and you see this little arrow thing, click on it, because I want everyone to know that you can have all your shortcut stuff there on the left now.
And I think it's genius that they added it as an option so that the people that like full screen CarPlay can still have it.
Yes, because we have all that good stuff that a lot of the other Toyotas that we've driven have. We've got lane centering that worked really well on the highway. We do.
We switched trims in the last minute.
I made sure we got one with 360 cameras because I
Thank you.
wanted to know, do we have egg mode?
And do we?
We have egg mode.
Egg mode is still a feature in the 2025 Camry.
There.
Oh, dude, under camera too.
That's very nice. They're very good, high quality 360 cameras.
Toyota Land Cruiser review as well.
Yes, we appreciate you watching our review on Embargo Day when there is a million other videos going live.
Sorry for your YouTube feed. There's a lot of great YouTubers here, so thank you for choosing our video.
It was so fun.
Panel that looks like an XLE grill to me.
Yeah.
But when you move the vent, it doesn't align anymore exactly. And to me, I'm not OCD, but an OCD person would probably lose their mind over that.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing. Okay, we also have hard button climate stuff below that, which is so much better than hard buttons. That stuff's like, I think they nailed the infotainment.
They did.
And then this is also connected, so you can have like the app that does remote start and lots of subscriptions. So that part's a little bit red flaggy to me.
Yeah.
But like, that's the world we live in. If you don't like it, go to tsp.truecar.com and buy a 10-year-old Camry.
Exactly. And then we do have a wireless charger down here. We have a place to put your phone, and then our cup holders, total pass with some Red Bulls in them.
Yeah, and I think it would fit a small coffee absolutely fine.
Yep. And then we do have some drive modes, and we do have the top trim, so we do have a full digital display, so when you change between the drive modes, you get like a really cool animation.
Yeah, and then you can change the meter modes, change what's in the little pods. It's a little confusing to do while driving. I would do that while you're parked.
Yep.
But it does have a lot of good information, but I would like to see a TAC.
Yes.
Then on the steering wheel, we can control our radio stations with the right, volume on the left, and then check this out. Play Sirius XM Channel 9.
Oh, we still have reception. Should work.
Tuning to Sirius XM Channel 9.
It worked.
So we can do that, which is what a BMW cannot. So plus against the German luxury cars. And like, okay, handling, besides the steering may not feeling like the best, it handles well.
It would have been probably even better on the Continental tires that we're currently not on.
Oh, for sure. What was that review that we were flying through?
The Kia. The whatever it's called. And you cannot get a not hybrid in the new Camry. They're all 100% hybrids. So you can get as poor has 44 miles per gallon combined, which is still really, really good. That's in the XSE all-wheel drive, and then you can get 51 miles per gallon in the LE front-wheel drive, so that's really, really good.
What would you take, all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive?
I mean,
Front-wheel drive, I think.
probably front-wheel drive.
I'm happy with front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I don't need all-wheel drive.
Viking Contact 7s, winter tires, Continentals, and you'll be fine. And this is built in America, where we currently are. Well, it's not built in San Diego, but it's built in America.
America's pretty big.
Yes.
Okay, visor test. Photoshop this to look like a Beck taxi, which is our orange and green taxis in Toronto.
Okay.
Because they were going to be littered. And then trunk room. We didn't talk about trunk room or towing.
Yeah, so
There's no towing.
No, there isn't. Trunk space fits both of our carry-ons, no problem, obviously.
You can drop the seats down from the trunk, and then the button to open the trunk is on the far right. We got that cool little spoiler there. That's nice.
Yeah. I didn't notice that until last second, but it's nice on the XSE.
And the Accord. I think I like that.
I like a lot about this more
But
than
like,
the Accord.
I want to know what it is. I like that this has Sirius XM, which the Accord did not. But that had Google Maps in your gauge cluster, which this does not.
The biggest thing that I like about this over the Accord is the general looks. Because the Accord is very just generic, this actually looks nice.
Yeah, and it's cool with like the corporate branding where everything looks kind of like the Crown. Like, I don't know if I'm too jazzed on full corporate branding, but it does look good.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay for like the Prius, the Camry, the Corolla, like fine. But the video's already out. At $28,400.
American.
And this XSE front wheel drive that we're driving is $39,600.
American.
Which again,
I'm very excited to get this up against the Accord at Cliche Corner and really like see the differences, like up front and center, how much room there is in the back seats and everything with child seats. So
What's the price of a